Hey, what's going on, guys? Hunter Wilson, Harvest Company, and today I am going to be showing off my brand new Elite trailer, drone spraying trailer, right here in Spire, Oklahoma. Guys, this trailer is built right in my hometown, and it is going to be one of the best drone trailers out in 2025. I can guarantee it. I've been on a ton of drone spraying trailers, and I can promise you there's not another trailer out there that is as sturdy as this one. So, with that being said, I'm going to explain to you everything we got going on today, so stay tuned. Let's ride. First and foremost, if you haven't already, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. We're growing this channel like crazy. Almost got 12,000 subscribers. I cannot thank you enough. We're pushing out content as much as we possibly can. So stay tuned, and we're gonna continue to give you what you need. All right, first and foremost, 22-foot trailer, okay? That's the size that we thought would be perfect, and it is. It is a low boy. Why is it a low boy? Well, this reason right here. How easy is that? If you don't have a low boy, then your trailer is going to set up above your tires, and it's going to be harder to get in and out, okay? So these are two 7,000-pound axle trailers, so it's got all the weight capacity that you can ever imagine. And it's got a 22-foot flight deck on top that is absolutely freaking game changer. And we are super excited because last year, let me tell you, what we were running was miserable. So much work. But we sprayed 20,000 acres. So this year, we're going to be pushing for a little bit more than that, and we're going to have the comfort that you want and need. So that's why we upgraded, right? We threw a plan to Elite, and Elite sketched it up and freaking crushed it. So if it was me and I was getting into the drone spraying business, I'd probably call them because they know how to do it. They've already done ours, and they'll do yours too. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you kind of how we have ours set up and how we go day to day. Okay, so first I'm gonna explain to you our generator situation, what we run. So obviously, if you know drones, you know these things, right? DJI, not my favorite. This is like our fourth one, but hey, it does do a good job and it charges extremely fast. On the other side, guys, we have a 15 kW Pro Series Platinum Chapel generator. Chapel is a company out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, obviously. And if you are in the area, even if you're 3 or 4 hours away, I'd probably give them a call because they have probably the best customer support. Man, if we ever need anything, they'll drive down, help us out, fix our generators. We have 4 of them, so if one goes down, we just replace. Make sure you have extra generators handy, because if you're going to be running and gunning all summer long, all spring, all fall, whatever the case may be, you better have a backup generator. If not, you're going to be in some deep doo-doo. Okay, so how do we have it wired? Well, one thing that we do differently than most is these little guys are terrible. I will tell you that right now. These little 12-volt batteries, they're lithium batteries. They don't last at all unless you keep them. Man, I think I've ran these on my Garmin on my boat, and they work good if you charge them, but they got about a 12-hour lifespan, even when they're running. I don't know what the deal is, but you might spray 5 days in a row, and then you wake up on Saturday morning to go spray, and it's not going to start, and you have to jump it. So we've got it hardwired into a big 12-volt battery, and it has completely changed the game for us as far as starting every single day and being on top of things. But yeah, we have frames built. Obviously, we just screwed them into the deck to keep our generator stationary, and we also have some ratchet straps going into it. Now, if you'll come up top, I'm going to explain to you how we have our 10,000 kW charging stations. So we built a little platform to set up on the tongue. Okay, I know a lot of people put them up top, but we just didn't decide that was the best thing for us. So we built a little platform to set our charging stations on, and we just have it hardwired. Our 240 goes directly into the charging station, and then we have what would we call these? What are these called? Extensions. Yeah, we just have extensions that are connected to our main wire that goes up to our cooling station. I don't know why I couldn't figure that out, but yeah, we got cooling stations. All of our cooling stations are up top that we charge our batteries into. So we just put the extensions on, ran them up top, and we're good to go. So making sure that these 10,000 kW chargers are stationary, they're not moving, not collecting dust, things like that, it's going to do extremely well. So I think for you guys that are running the 8,000, spend the extra money, get the 10,000. You're going to be a lot happier, because I'm telling you right now, they have completely changed our charging time. You know, cut it at least anywhere from a minute to a minute and a half on getting a full charge. So as far as generators go, guys, you can run diesel, you can do whatever you want, whatever's efficient for you, but these bad boys are going to break. It's just going to happen. If you do it long enough, you're going to understand. So make sure it's very easy to take them on and off and put another one on, and boom, you're back to rock and rolling. As a matter of fact, we've got extra room here. We're going to be putting another generator right here, just in case one goes down in the middle of the day. We'll just hardwire that baby in, and we're back to rolling. Okay, so when it comes to storage, guys, we keep our drones down low when we're moving. We could keep them up top, but hey, I just don't want to be driving down the road on the interstate and there goes a drone, and you ain't fixing a drone that's fell off a trailer at 70 miles an hour. It's just not going to happen. You probably could. There's guys out there. I've seen them. Like, hey, my boy Elijah down at Agri Spray Drones, he'll probably fix. He could fix anything. So that's another thing. Agri Spray Drones, the best when it comes to maintenance, parts, anything like that. Give those guys a look at agrispraydrones.com. They will hook you up. Out of Columbia, Missouri, well, right outside of Columbia, I believe it's Boonville. So they're phenomenal. It's like a 6-hour drive for us, but I tell you right now, we would make the drive in a heartbeat to see the guys that would fix our drones. So we keep our drones down low. We're running T40s again this year because they sprayed 20,000 acres last year and did an absolute phenomenal job. I know there's the J100, the T50, and there's a million different drones out there. But for us, we are running T40s, and we are extremely happy with the production that they did last year. So the one thing about this trailer that we wanted was we wanted it to have plenty of tie downs. So we've got our tie down loops just about everywhere on this trailer, solely for the fact that there's a million ways to tie down everything. We have it just, anything you want to tie down, we've got the opportunity to do it. So it's smart. If you're going to build a trailer, make sure you got plenty of tie downs for ratchet straps, bungees, etc. Let's talk about fresh water. Why? Why in the world do you need fresh water if I got chemical? I'm not spraying fresh water. Well, here's the reason. Your hands, okay? I don't care who you are. We try to be as safe as we possibly can when dealing with chemical, wearing gloves, things like that. But you are going to get chemical on your hands. It's just part of it. It's part of the job, right? Try to be as safe as possible. But if you do have that accident and you do get chemical on your hands, you have the fresh water to clean yourself up. Dawn dish soap, keep it handy. We use a snot out of it. Okay, my hands will be raw at the end of the year because of the amount of Dawn dish soap that I've used. But another thing, guys, these freaking drones, the one thing that I will say, that if you do not clean them out every single day, right, if you don't flush your pumps at the end of the day, you're going to have issues. So for us, we've got a small 1-inch pump here that will be hardwired into our generator. So at the end of the day, if we need to wash our hands, whatever the case may be, but we're going to guarantee it that we're going to flush these pumps out. Okay, we'll run fresh water through our drones up top, or if it's accessible, we'll fly them down here. We'll fill those drones up, we'll clean them out real good, we'll run fresh water through the pumps after every single day. Because if you don't, you're going to have pump failures. Centrifugal motors are going to go on your spray nozzles. So make sure you're cleaning those pumps out regularly. Right? Regular. We'll just stick with that. Okay, so make sure you got fresh water handy all the time. All right, my favorite part, okay? The plumbing side of your trailer. What are you going to do, okay? Are you going to run a cone tank? Are you going to run the 275-gallon chemical tank? What are you going to do? Okay, for us, this is the most efficient because a lot of times during the week, we'll change our chemical 3 or 4 different times for different jobs. And if we need to take these tanks off, it's as simple as unbuckling your ratchet strap, picking them up, set them aside, and put another tank on that's been cleaned. So we run 2 275-gallon chemical tanks. Last year we ran one, which gave us about 125 acres each load. Well, this is gonna do 250, and we're freaking fired up because you could fill up twice in a day and be golden. Okay, here's how we got it plumbed, right? Just as simple can get. That's one thing about us, is we're gonna keep it as simple as possible, and we're gonna allow ourselves to, if something was to bust, you know, we might have 4 or 5 of these bad boys on hand, just in case. You know, you're gonna have cracks, you're gonna have things that break. So you obviously have your male valve that comes off of your tote. Guys, these ball valves, they break, right? They're not made to withstand a long time, so they will break. That's why we have this other cutoff valve. So how we got it plumbed is that this bad boy will connect just like that. Right? It's connected, and then your female part will go into your intake of your 2-inch pump. We run a Honda 2-inch pump. No disrespect to Harbor Freight, but don't go buy a Harbor Freight pump and just think you're going to get away with it. Some people might have good luck, but I've seen a lot of them fail. This Honda has been in our family for a long time, and it runs like a charm, and we're going to run it again this year, because if you keep the oil clean and you take care of the maintenance, you're going to be in good shape. It's going to work wonders, okay? So, 275 gallon tanks, okay? If we're going to be running off this tank, okay, it's obviously going to be plumbed on this side to your 2-inch pump, which is going out of your output right here. You'll pop up here, 2-inch all the way into a T, okay? Now this T is controlling your actuating hose and your fill hose, correct? So if I'm gonna be running on this tank in particular, I'm gonna take my hose, slide it in here, my pump's running, and I'm keeping chemical fluctuating every single time, right? I have a cutoff valve here. Why? Well, this cutoff valve is going to allow, whether you want more chemical going to the top or less. We usually keep it about 3/4 turned on, allowing our tanks to actuate, and enough pressure to go up to the top to fill our drones up, okay? So it's super, super simple. A T here into a 1-inch, into a 1-inch with a cutoff valve, right? Like I said, super, super simple. All right, so if I wanted to move the tanks, if I want to go from tank B to A, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pump, I'm going to slide it over, I'm going to undo this first, I'm going to undo from here, which is going to be connected to the pump. I'm going to slide it over and connect it. I'm going to take my actuating hose, pull it out, throw it in, fire that pump back on, and here we go, okay? And now we're back to rocking and rolling. There's a million ways you can skin this cat, guys. We've had it to where we've had it teed, or we've had it one hose going here into an elbow, into another elbow, feeding the pump, all tied in together, and it was just, honestly, it's just too much. When you have that many cuts on a hose, eventually you're going to have multiple leaks, and we don't want leaks, so we kept it as simple as possible. Even if we have to pull the pump and slide it over, it's going to take a minute, and we're back to rocking and rolling. Okay, so now that that part's covered, I'm going to show you the flight deck. And the flight deck is what's going to change the game in 2025. So follow me. We've got several different ways to get up this trailer. Okay? We can go up the backside, right? Or you can go up through the truck. And this is probably one of my favorite parts, is this is the easiest accessible way in my opinion. You just pop in, climb up the ladder, and here we go. So, in my opinion, that's the second easiest way. First easiest way is going up to the tongue. That's one of my favorite parts. So, kind of what we got going on here is you've got a 22-foot flight deck that's going to allow us to fly 2 different drones on here and fill at the same time. So for the most part, that was huge, because in 2024 we didn't have that opportunity. You could only fly one drone on top of the trailer while the other one was hovering. So now you have the opportunity to fly 2. So what we've done is we completely plywooded the whole entire top, right? And then we put C-deck on top of the plywood. It's got a 3 millimeter adhesive back, and we also put some glue on top to make it stick even better, and we laid it ourselves. All right, super cheap, super efficient, and I can't explain to you enough, when a drone is landing, you want it to be as soft as possible, and that's what's going to allow it to do that. It's going to be able to land soft. That C-deck will completely absorb it, and you'll be good to go. So we made sure and had plenty of tie downs here on top. Never a doubt, right? If you don't have the tie downs up top to tie your drones down for short, you know, for the most part, if we're on the interstate, the drones are going to be below. But if they're going to be high, it's probably going to be short routes, going to field, things like that. We'll keep them up top and make it super, super efficient. So one thing, like I said, we could have used a hose reel, but for the most part, this is going to ride just fine. Tie it in a D-loop, right? We use a gas nozzle to fill our drones up with. It's got a, just like if you're filling up your tank full of gas, you don't sit there and watch it. When it cuts off, it cuts off. It does the same for our drones, and it's worked out great. I think this is our second one. We've only broke one, and it really wasn't even broke. I think it was more human error, me. Okay, so flight deck, super spacey. Wouldn't change it for the world. The guys at Elite did a phenomenal job. You got your square tubing running all the way around where we're going to be setting. Crap, you could put a two-seater sofa up here and have the best time of your life. But we had the guys at Elite build us brackets for our charging stations to set up here. I know some trailers have them in the floor, things like that, but for us, we kept it super simple that if we needed to take our actual charging station off, we can. So we have these bolted into the floor with our cooling stations here. It allows for easy pickup, right? If you're having to put your foot on your cooling station like we did last year and pull up, it makes for a super long day. So we got 4 batteries up here, ready to rock and roll. We'll be setting down flying drones, and as it's finished, we just pick up, rock and roll, okay? So we have a custom built canopy that we're super excited about. We're still waiting on a piece. So we'll have a boat canopy that's going to be attached to the railing that'll be able to go up and keep shade on us all day long. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're like us in eastern Oklahoma and that sun's beating down on your dome from daylight till freaking dark, well, you're going to have hell. And it's going to be a long, long summer. And guess what? Last year, that's what we did. You know why? Because we're tougher than hell. So this year, we're going to be a little soft. We're going to have that canopy. We're going to have shade on our cooling stations. That's another thing, guys. We've sprayed in 100-degree heat. We never really had overheating problems except for a few times. But yes, make sure that you have shade on your cooling stations. One thing I will say about the heat is one way to control that heat is a electronic grease. If you don't have electronic grease to put on the prongs, if you can put electronic grease on these prongs, guys, and on through here, it will help your overheating problems that we've ran into. So please, once again, guys, if you made it through the video, thank you. Please like, please subscribe. We're going to be putting out plenty of content here in 2025. Once again, thank you. And if you have any questions, put it in the comments. And if you're wanting an Elite trailer just like us, please feel free to reach out. I'll have everything in the bottom in the comments and the details. So thank you again. Harvest Co. Let's go.